Cunt to the feminine of what? To the feminine of pussy what? Feminine pussy cunt. Feminine pussy what? Feminine soft cunt to the cunt. Feminine soft cunt to the what cunt? Feminine soft cunt to the cunt.
I'm a lover burning all the dagger from the words that you said. Fuck yeah. Dancing in the mirror, kiss my scars because I love what they made. Ooh, yeah. She's a vibe, she's a hero, she's a vibe. All she been through, I suggest you don't fuck with my sis. Ooh, she comfortable.
From Lily G. to N.R. Strickland. Date, May 9th, 6:21 p.m. Subject, you have a website, dear Mr. Strickland. Have you ever been stuck on a subway train without air conditioning on a 92-degree weather day? If not, count yourself lucky, because that's what I'm experiencing right now, and it's absolute torture. Okay, now that I have that off my chest, I want to be clear that I never do stuff like this. And by stuff, I mean cold emailing a stranger. Chances are you probably won't read this message, so my nerves might be for nothing. You did just create a website even though The Elves of Ceridon was published 5 years ago. So my assumption is that you don't spend too much time online, which isn't really a bad thing. My name is Lily, and I read your novel almost 2 years ago while working at a used bookstore. I'd never heard of your book, neither had my boss, so he told me to toss it. But the thought of throwing books away felt like a crime, and I was curious, so I started reading on my lunch break. Then I kept reading throughout the rest of my shift, on the bus ride home. All through dinner, and I stayed up until 3 a.m. to finish. Reading your book made me remember why I loved reading so much growing up. But I realized maybe I could edit books like yours, but for children. I work in book publishing now, not in the role I want necessarily, but it's a foot in the door. It got me through a tough and confusing time in my life. I think I have your book to thank, in a way. I'm emailing you because I wanted to tell you that I loved your book. I thought Deco was one of the most interesting protagonists I've read in a long time. Do you plan to write a sequel? It ended on such a cliffhanger with Deco delirious and battle-weary, finally reaching Ceridon, but getting attacked by a life leech as soon as he touched the city gates. Did he survive? Did he die? I've been wondering this for 2 years. I'm sure you're inundated with messages thanks to your new website and contact form, but
From N.R. Strickland to Lily G. Date, May 14th, 10:42 p.m. Subject, you have a website? Lily? You hope what? Did you mean to leave that sentence incomplete? Either way, thank you for your kind message. It was really nice and surprising to read. You're wrong in assuming that I'm inundated with emails. Yours is the first I received through my website. And to be honest, I thought you were sending me hate mail. You're probably the only person who ever visits the site, other than my agent who made the site for me. I'm glad that my book served as an inspiration for you and your career. To answer your first question, no. I've never been stuck on a subway when it was 92 degrees outside. However, I did once find myself locked inside of a loo on a submarine in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Long story. To answer your second question, no. I don't plan to write a sequel. I don't think of myself as an author anymore. More like a one-hit wonder sans the hit. As far as I'm concerned, The Elves of Ceridon was written in another life. Back when I was 22 and naive, and thought I'd be the Black George R.R. Martin. Did Deco die lying there at the city gates? Did a Ceridonian elf come to his rescue? I don't know. I'll leave that up to your interpretation. Wishing you luck in life. NRS.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So, I'm coming back with something brand new. I don't think I've seen it done before. I think I've seen someone do it with drawing, but I'm really excited to bring to the channel. I am merging books and Sims. So I am taking the main characters from some of my favorite books that I've read last year and this year, and I'm creating them in The Sims, like what I picture them to look like. Because, you kind of have to picture how things look in books in your head. So this is kind of how I feel like Lily would look based on how the book describes her. So I'm really, really excited. The book that we're doing today is The Neighbor Favor by Kristina Forest. Y'all, this book has me in a chokehold. I actually re-listened to it because I've been listening to it at work. I tend to listen to a lot of my books at work because that's when I have time to just vibe and zone out. So I love to do that. But back to the book, y'all. This book, I was just smiling the whole time I was reading it, y'all. The whole time I was listening to it. And like I said, listening to it again just put everything into a whole different perspective. You get to hear stuff you didn't hear the first time. And I don't know, it just pulled at my heartstrings a second time. And I love that about books. So those type of books that I'm going to try to bring to the channel, books that make me be like, oh my God, I need somebody else to feel what I'm feeling. So yeah, I did prepare some questions for myself to share with you guys about how I felt about the book, the character, and all that jazz. I think for this series, for this book in general, there's going to be 4 characters that I'm going to be creating. There is 2 other books in this series. It's called The Greene Sisters. This is actually book 1. So yeah, you guys need to check it out. I'm about to do the questions. So if you haven't watched it yet, or if you haven't listened to it yet or read it yet, and you don't want no spoilers, girl, then you might not want to watch this video until you read it. So then you have something to look forward to. But if you don't care about none of that, girl, then stay tuned. Or just, put me on mute. I don't know. I still want you to watch it. Just put me on mute. But I'm gonna give y'all a second to figure out what you're gonna do. I'm gonna get back to my questions and I'll be right back. Question 1 is, what was your immediate reaction to this character when they were first introduced? Okay, y'all. So my immediate reaction to Lily was, this chick is random. Okay. But I only say that because she randomly emailed this man. She does not know him from a can of paint. Girl, she don't know this man at all. And she's just randomly emailing him like, what made you do that, Lily? This is what started everything. So it's like, what made you do that? Was it just like intuition? Was she just bored? She was stuck on a train, so maybe she was just bored. I don't know what was going through her brain cells when she decided, I'm about to just email him and let's see where it goes. She also said that she didn't think he would actually answer, so maybe she was just bored and just, wanted to randomly text somebody. I don't know, but like, why would that be her first person to go to? I don't know. Okay, the next question is, which line or scene of theirs stood out to you the most? Y'all. Okay, so my favorite scene is the cookout scene. Is when they were doing their fashion show, because her sister is like a stylist for celebrities and everything. So she kind of went to a thrift shop and she found all these like 90s 2000 clothes, and they do little fashion shows. It's like a tradition. It's so cute, y'all. Like, just hearing it, I was like, oh, the feels, this is so cute. It's so like, girl, I just did the oh my God. The color purple hand clap, girl, like, it was so cute. I loved it so much. But Yeah, they did a little scene and everyone was anticipating for Lily to come out. Like they was like, now coming out is Lily, and like she didn't come out. So everybody was waiting for her to come out, and she finally comes out, and Nick is like swooning. He's like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Like her hair is all curly. She never lets her hair out. It was so cute. You gotta read the scene or listen to the scene to understand what I'm saying. I highly recommend to listen to the audiobook because the people who voiced that, they did that, they like made me feel like I was there, girl. It made me feel like I was there. Honestly, to give a shout out to somebody, their whole like romantic scene and just their love in general reminded me so much of A Missing Piece by Jasmine. Jasmine, I can't remember your YouTube like handle right now, but I'll put it on the screen. You guys need to go and check her out. Their whole love thing, their whole love triangle, not even a triangle, their whole love connection just reminded me of how her series went, and I loved her series so much. Shout out to you, Jasmine girl. Love you so much. Nick was just swooning over her, girl, and I was just smiling. I couldn't stop smiling. It was so cute. That whole scene where she was just, well, they were together with her family. It was just so adorable. I loved it so much, y'all. Like, I really, really did. I couldn't stop smiling. Like, I'm smiling just thinking about it. So the next question is, did this character ever frustrate you or make you emotional? If so, when? Yes. Lily pissed me the fuck off. Okay, so there was a part in the book where Nick, who is strict, basically is about to tell Lily who he is. Like, he's about to say, I'm the guy who you've been emailing, but I ghosted you. I'm sorry. You have to read the book to understand what I'm saying, because I don't want to give away too much. Like, I don't want to give away the whole book. But Nick was about to tell Lily who he was, that he was strict. He was the guy that she's been emailing for this long period of time and broke her heart. But Lily cut him off before he could tell her. And he said, well, she says, it's on page 138, because girl, I had to go and highlight it for y'all. Well, they were talking about, love and everything like that. And she's like, do you want to hear something embarrassing? And she tells Nick about the whole situation. She's like, last year I met someone online, and Nick's stomach fell right to his ass. I liked him a lot and I thought it might go somewhere, but he ghosted me. Even though it ended badly, emailing with him made me realize how nice it was to talk to someone I actually liked. That's when I decided I couldn't be set up by my sisters anymore. So I came up with the bet. She forced a smile. I know it probably sounds pathetic. I would never think that you were pathetic. He was going to tell her the truth right now. He had to tell her. He probably feels like shit, Nick says. I know he does. And I know that because, oh yeah, I hope he does feel like shit, this being Lily. She said, interrupting him. Or, I don't know. I at least hope he regrets not getting the chance to meet me, to give us a real shot. Sometimes I think about what I'd do if I ever saw him in person. Nick swallowed thickly. What would you do? I don't know. I'd probably be too angry to say anything. Honestly, I hope I don't meet him. I just want to move on and erase the whole thing from my memory. Nick nodded weakly. He realized then that the truth would be no good in telling Lily the truth. There would be no good in telling Lily the truth. He'd only be selfishly trying to clear his own conscience. Lily didn't want to meet Strick. So girl, does that not say, let me not say nothing? Like, cause I wouldn't say nothing after she just said all that. I wouldn't say anything either. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say anything either. I would, because how do you come back from that? Like, how do you, like, I don't know how you can bring that up into conversation, like, right then and there. So I kind of understand where everything kind of transpired, but at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like Lily, she was pissed about him telling her, but then it's like, you can't be mad when you say you didn't want to meet him. So that whole concept was never brought up, and I hated that. I hated that he never brought up the fact that she said she didn't want to meet him. So that's what kind of threw him off from that, because I feel like that would have changed the whole perspective of everything. But girl, if she never said that, things would have been totally different. But moving on, that part really like ticked me off in the book. I was like, why would you? I don't know. Next question is, how do you feel about the characters' journey and how they were portrayed throughout the story? To me, it felt like a roller coaster. There were ups and downs for sure, but for the most part, I felt like the author did a really good job at portraying all the characters and all their emotions and taking us on the journey, like with them, like, girl. Because there were moments where I was on my seat, I was laughing, I was angry, I was crying. So I feel like the author did a really, really good job at like portraying what the character was going through and making us feel like, girl, what are you doing? At least for me, because I was on the edge of my seat. I was at work like, what the hell is she doing? But my last question actually, it says, on a scale from favorite to least favorite, where does this character fall for you? So I'm not gonna lie, Lily sits, if I'm gonna put a number on it actually, Lily sits at like an 8.5. I only say that because I haven't really read the rest of the sisters' books to give a perspective on them. I'm definitely going to read them before I, upload more to this series. But the next person who's going to be popping up for you guys will be Strict, and I'll be re-answering these questions based on him. But yeah, I can't really say too much for, Lily. I love her. I love how innocent she is. I love how, she doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve. Let me say that. She is very strict about what she wants, pun intended. Okay? So I love that for her. I love that she ended up, I'm not gonna say too much. I was about to spoil a lot, but I love the person that she actually ended up becoming at the end of the series. I think it was really cool. I think she did her thing, okay? But this is where I'm actually going to stop talking. I'm going to let you guys, finish out the cast video. I hope you guys enjoyed this concept. So I'm going to keep doing it regardless because I actually really had a lot of fun answering these questions. This kind of just gives me that book group feel. I don't know. I just been wanting to talk about the books and like answer questions based on the books. And I wanted to share it with somebody. So I'm just not in my head. Maybe somebody will be out there and be like, yes, girl, I read this book too. Like, if you were that person, let me know because I actually really like this book and I want to talk about it. Like, do you feel the way I feel? Like, were you pissed at Lily too at that moment? Like, am I crazy for thinking that? Tell me in the comments, y'all. Let me know. But until next time, y'all. Bye-bye.
So anytime